Hello class. In this video, I will go over assignment 2 and how to get the data from Fred. So first we're going to grab the inflation data, CPI. Click CPI in the trending terms. You're going to want the CPI right here for all urban consumers. And notice it starts in 47. But we only want to take from 55 because that's where the interest rate data, the federal funds effective rate percent, will start then in 55. So if we have 1947 data, as originally given to us here in Fred, we'll have non-matching data. So it's very important to make sure that your frequencies and dates line up, and that's what we'll do here. So the first assignment was a little easier. The data collection, you just had to go download the series from Fred. Now you need a little bit of data manipulation, data management. So let's go through it. We have our different formats here, monthly or semi-annual. Click here. I'll show you guys how to edit it, the graph normally. So right here, we're interested in going through July 1st, 1955. And we're going to edit the graph here. It's good. Like the monthly. And now for units, instead of using an index, we're looking for the percent change from a year ago. So once we have this right here, 1955, the current percent year change from a year ago, and we download. Download to Excel. And now we have to go to interest rate data, which we will be getting the federal funds effective rate. So we'll go back to Fred in the top right here, or we could go back, either or. Well, I asked you to put an interest rate. So that's what I'll do. And here it is. Federal funds effective rate. And see it starts here in 2019. We want to go back to 55, July 1st. Edit graph. We have to modify the frequency here because this is the daily 7 days average percent. And we have monthly data before, so we want to get monthly data. And aggregation method will be average. And we're looking for the change from a year ago percent. No, actually, we'll just keep the percent here. That's what it asked for. Once we have this right here, so this is just the actual federal fund rate, the proxy for the interest rate in the economy, taking a monthly average. 1955, July 1st through, just to coincide with the other graph. We can open this, label it interest rate. Inflation. Make sure everything lines up here. It's all good. We have no extra observations. Everything appears to line up. And then now if we go on this homework assignment, we're going to have to find the correlation here. And we use this function here, correl, and we're just going to take the column with inflation and then comma, the comma with interest rate data. So let's do it. correlation of about 0.7047. It's pretty good. So a perfect linear relationship would be 1, and a perfect negative linear relationship would be -1, and no relationship would be equals about 0. So it's a pretty strong positive relationship correlation here. And let's make our line graph. So we go to Insert. First, we grab the data here. So we're interested in the observation date, the inflation, and the interest rate. All this stuff can be omitted here. You don't have to put in the correlation. That will give you just an extra series from a singleton point. Not very useful for a 2D line graph. And there's the homework assignment. And now you are required to write 2 paragraphs on what you see, descriptive analytics, so just what you see in the trend. And then you'll be required to write 3 paragraphs on why this happens. So you can talk about the many reasons that an increased interest rate, as in here, would start cooling down inflation here. Many reasons this could happen in the economy. Slows down consumption, everything becomes relatively more expensive. You also have companies probably investing less because now they have to pay back their loans at a higher rate, which also slows down investment and other purchasing, intermediary goods, construction workers, regular workers, etc. So there's really no right or wrong answer. I just want you to critically think about this stuff. You could make your title a little bit more professional here. And for the next step right here, if you guys also want bonus points, you can do Power BI. But to do that, as you remember from the first assignment, we're going to have to make our data into a table. So we highlight our data, we click Insert, we click Table, and remember we have headers. Headers are just column names. So we have these here. Click OK. And now let me save this document right here. File, save as, desktop. Assignment 2, Power BI. And remember that some of you guys are automatically been saving to Excel 97 in Workbook. It has to go to XLSX for you to go into Power BI effectively. So it's a little caveat, but we'll get used to it. So XLSX, that's the file format to get into Power BI. And then we just save it here. And in the next video, I will show you how to upload this data set into Power BI and click for a little bit of insights. Although there's only 2 variables, so there's really not a lot we can click with the pivot table. But hopefully we might get some really cool insights, text insights with percentage values from Power BI.